mob led by a half-wit named Ned Ludd. And that was kind of it, really. Now, the truth is, it was a massive movement of people, and when I wrote this song about the Luddites, because I was tired of being called a Luddite, so I found out about them. And
found out he was, in fact.
Well, no, because they were then, and this is now. But what they were was people who worked in the weaving industry, and in the cloth, they were the cloth cutters and the weavers and the spinners in that industry, and the knitters. And basically all they were saying was, the way that it's working at the moment, we get a fair rate for our job and all the rest of it. And if this machinery comes in, and these factories come in, we're all going to be reduced to absolute poverty. And they weren't wrong, because that's what actually happened to a whole generation. And they had this phrase, they didn't mind machinery in itself, but they didn't like machinery that was injurious to the commonality, which was an old way of saying, if it's against the common good, then we shouldn't just have it. And I think that was quite a sensible philosophy, as it turned out, although of course now, that's all history and we're here now. But given that it took more soldiers were on the streets of Britain to suppress that rebellion by common people, which actually started in the southwest, down in Shepton Mallet and places where they burned mills. But yeah, interesting that, Shepton Mallet, that was one of the first. But mainly up in Yorkshire and Lancashire and Nottingham, and I haven't had any water yet. And it took all that, and a lot of people were hung, a lot of people were deported, and in the end, then they gave up and they went to work in the factories. There were more soldiers on the streets of Britain than there were at the Battle of Waterloo to suppress that rebellion, and that's something that most people don't know about. So I wrote this song anyway, just to try and redress the balance, and it's called Ned Ludd. Oh, where are you going, says Miller to Munger. We may not tell you, says Johnson to Judd. We're going to mill, says Jack to our jail. We're going to the factory, says little Ned Ludd. And what will you do there, says Miller to Munger. Do you swear to tell no one, says Johnson to Judd. We'll break the machinery, improve the scenery, meets in the greenery of this Ned Ludd. And how will you break them, says Miller to Munger. Stay with us, we'll show you, says Johnson to Judd. With pipes and with hammers, with fire and spanners, to teach them some manners, says General Ludd. Stop it, says owner to roller, with spies and with soldiers, says Tory to wing. We'll hang every breaker and Luddite, I'll take their transport trouble makers, and that's what they do. 14 hung on a beam, ugliest justice that you've ever seen. 50 in all who took the long fall against the machine. crippled their children, and all for the worship of profit and loss. Some call it futility. They say the future will be for the engine of progress to advance. But let go humanity, back to reality. We win our destiny with our own hands. All hands that are ready to hold the line steady, to pull down the fences, to pull up and rope, and not the laboratory. And some call us vandals, some call us hooligans, some call us riots, and some write us off. But we're standing up proud and we're shouting out loud for the sake of our family and stage is strong. When the job's done and the long wars are over, and we've all recovered the love in our blood, our ancestors' voices are joined our rejoicing and sing to the memory of General, and we'll sing to the memory of General, and we'll sing to the memory of General. Die,